I always fooled with cars, but got real involved with the drag racing, and me and my wife, we done that for 17 years, and that hobby got real expensive, and anyway, she was 36, I was 35, and we decided we'd stop and maybe have a family. So anyway, that boy was born, I decided to quit racing, and as I was selling out that racing operation, I started just buying some tractors, something to fool with as a hobby. I kind of got burnt out on the cars. So anyway, it kind of snowballed. I'd go out west and buy 10, 12 tractors and come back and sell them, and I'd try to keep the one I wanted. I started with an OH Farmlife. Of all things, just a local tractor. Once I got involved, I found out kind of at the time if John Deere had all the records, so you couldn't fake a rare John Deere tractor because of the archives. And so for about 10 years, I had what everybody called them green binders. I just basically deal with John Deere's. Got a H high crop, got a BNW or a BNH, which is a high crop single wheel, and the H high crop, A high crop. I had a BWH-40 and I had a BWH, and some property beside me. I live on a dead end road, and 300 acres below me came up for sale, and they was going to develop it, and we was going to have 800 houses on a dead end road. And so I sold 5 of my rarest John Deeres to buy that property. And anyway, I had them, won't never have them again. But anyway, it's gonna mess my world up. There's just 3 houses we're a mile off the main road on a dead end road, and 700 houses was gonna mess up the, But at BWH-40 there was like just 12 of them built, and so I had one of 12, and sold it back to the man I bought it from, and he gave me twice what I paid him. I had the tractor for 4 years.
Wow.
And it doubled. Going out, I passed over a lot of the pre-30 stuff. Kind of a mistake. At the time, didn't nobody want them. Mm-hmm. And so once I got over the John Deeres, I kind of started picking up some of the earlier stuff. And so anyway, in the old trucks, I started picking up a few of them old trucks, and enjoyed everything out there is restored. We restored either at the house or up here, and I got to where you could take an old original tractor or truck, and it seemed like people, we called it being in its work clothes. So we just started doing mechanical instead of restoring them. We just went through and made them run again. Yeah, all the tractors, everything out there, about 6 or 8 of them are run, trucks, tractors, and all. During it was taking an old piece and bringing it back to life, and just enjoy doing that. The big part of the hobby, you meet the people you meet. I've met some great people over the years, and that was a big part of it. First truck I purchased was that Green and Red GMC. Old boy in South Dakota had that truck, and I asked about it while I was up there, and he was going to fix it. And then I talked to him about a year later, and he said, probably won't get around to it. And I done some swapping. Me and my dad drove, I forget what we drove. We took something up. Dad seen the old truck, and he didn't think much of it. So I bought 5 items, and old boy was headed to Florida, and he stopped by, and we went to unload that truck. Dad, he seen it. He said, "You didn't go ahead and buy that old truck, did you?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, it'll never run." So that was kind of a challenge to fix it. So anyway, that was the first one. All of them out there, all except for the Panhard truck. I bought it like that. I bought that out of that Van Horn Museum, Mason City, Iowa. Then started as a museum. I had some of this stuff stored in one of our company buildings. I'd run out of room at the house. Anyway, this old building was hard to keep leased, and so my dad wanted me to get all my stuff in one area. So we done that, and it really wasn't open for the public. And then I decided to start a show. There was a lot of people in the hobby in this area, but there was no kind of tractor or gas engine show locally. So I told my dad, I said, "Well, if I take the building, I want the ground out in front," which he was planning on putting 2 commercial buildings out there. I said, "No," I said, "if we're gonna deal like this, I want to start a show. I want to make it a show ground." we'd have the show, and I'd open this up during the show. That's on just once a year. Just so happened one year, a guy from Tennessee, Tennessee Tourism, him and his wife happened to come to town and knew nothing about the show. And when they drove by, he stopped and got out and looked me up, and he said, "Hey," he said, "you need to open this place up, and I'll start sending you tour groups." Sumner County, that's the county we live here, is Sumner County. The tourism in Sumner County heard what I was doing, so they came by and they started sending me tour groups. And so all of a sudden I had a museum. Never planned on it, just kind of happened. You know, even today I was still swapping and trading. It's just old habits. I can't help myself. Time moves on, and you know, I lost my wife in 19. She was a big part of this, and I kind of been thinking about moving on anyway, and back to our family business. We had an opportunity to sell this and the 3 buildings around, so that kind of made my mind up just to go ahead and let her go.